Welcome back to another edition of Gary's Record Collection. We're back. We took the summer off. We had a little bit of time off, some deliberate, some not so deliberate. Had, the computer decided to go belly up. So we had to get a new cooling system for us. That was okay. Then the computer caught fire. Not okay. We had that. Then we had a little bit of COVID. Not okay. Had a vacation. Okay. That was good. And then, in the southeast, a little bit of a hurricane. Not okay. So we're getting everything back together, and we're back on it. And you know what? It's September. September is going to be a great month, specifically if you're a Led Zeppelin fan, because there were several concerts that happened in September over the years that are amazing. And today we are talking about the best one, probably. The most famous one, the one that there was a bootleg release of it, and it was so popular, the magazines thought it was real, thought it was a legitimate release. We're talking about, of course, Led Zeppelin live on Blueberry Hill. The alternate is Led Zeppelin live at the Los Angeles Forum 9470. So I got a couple of copies of these. We're going to bring these up. This is the first. It's been released about 18 billion times. This was my first one that I got. This is in the late 80s. This was part of the TMOQ years. They had a 10 discs, 10 record set, box set, and then they also put out 5 doubles. So this is live on Blueberry Hill from the original plates. This is where I first heard Blueberry Hill. So that's great and all, but it's like, I'd kind of like older copies, so that's what we did. We went and we got on the eBay, and we were able to find, here's like an older copy here. Here is another one. It has that same artwork on the back, but here's Robert Plant on the front. In 1980 or so, the Titanic label, what these labels, they're all owned by the same people anyway. So they just keep putting out this stuff. But here's like the 1980-ish version of Blueberry Hill. That was cool. And then, as I mentioned, it also came out on Rubber Dubber. This is a different recording than all the previous ones. This was also very popular. Look at that, $6 for a double album in 1970 or 71, whenever it came out. That was pretty cool. And so that means on vinyl there were 2 different recording sources. Here comes the CD era, and this is where I got the first on CD. This is the triangle pyramid CDs of Led Zeppelin Blueberry Hill. Here we go. I got those right there. And then I saw this, and I could not pass this up. This is from, I think it's like 2017 or something. This is a, 9 CD set. Live on Blueberry Hill. It's a thick son of a gun right there. Has not 1, not 2, 5 different audio sources coming from that show. So there were at least 5 different people, and there may have been 6. So there were 5 or 6 different people in the crowd that night on September 4th, 1970, recording the show. And it is amazing. And if you compare the recording, sometimes you can hear the same people around if they're loud enough. So everybody seemed they were in kind of close proximity, and the sound is great. So we are going to listen to a little bit of this. This is from the CDs. Has a nice sound to it, and here we go. This is what people heard.
Nice to be back. Drive our ships to new land, fight the horn, and sing and cry.
Now the great thing about Immigrant Song was this is September 4th. Led Zeppelin III didn't come out until October of 1970, so it was a month before the album actually came out, and people in the audience are going, what is this? This is new? And they didn't know what the name of it was for the bootlegs even. It was called From the Midnight Sun because that's what it sounded like. That's what they heard in the recording. So yeah, and then after Immigrant Song, it was a more familiar song because Led Zeppelin II was released in late '69 and was a blockbuster album. And the sound on this is just great. The rumor or legend is that whoever recorded this were using Sennheiser shotgun microphones that were up above the crowd and that shot toward the speaker stack. And so if you've ever tried to record anything in an audience like a school concert or something like that, and you're holding the microphone down like in front of you, everybody around you is blocking the sound. You got to get that thing way up in the air. And so allegedly, it was recorded on Sennheiser shotguns that were above the crowd. How they escaped the wrath of Peter Grant, the manager, by doing that. And maybe I read somewhere at some point, some people were taking their microphones and spray painting them black so they would not reflect off the stage light. So maybe that was this one here. It's very possible, but the sound is incredible. The album, on the sleeve, it says 106 minutes and 53 seconds of pure alive rock. Really can't argue with that. Another hit from Led Zeppelin II, What Is and What Should Never Be. And that sound is so clear, there's just no noise. It's great.
Take my hand, child, come with me, yeah. To a castle, I will take you. What's to be, they say will be. I can't win, tears will sail away, and in the day where high in the sky is love, and the wind won't blow. Really should have gone, only gone sister.
And this is we're only like halfway through the concert at this point. What Is and What Should Never Be, and then they follow it with Moby Dick. There's some other songs here. They actually had a couple of more songs in here that they debuted from the third album, and one actually from Physical Graffiti, Bron Rar, the Jimmy Page instrumental. It wasn't even released until 1975's Physical Graffiti, but they were playing it during the 1970 summer tour, and that was it sounded great. It was probably the last time they had that acoustic set where they all sat in front of the stage and played, because after that you've got 3 big albums, and they're working on Led Zeppelin IV. And there's no time for the acoustic set. That just kind of got retired until '77, and they brought it back, and it was like a mid-concert break for them to all sit down, I guess. From Led Zeppelin III, it is That's the Way.
This is This is a thing called That's the Way.
Told me, my friend, boy next door.
And that was the original title of the song, The Boy Next Door. which of course, if you think about it, it's kind of interesting that Robert Plant is singing it. You would think it would be the girl next door, but that's how it worked with the lyrics. It was more natural that way, but then it wound up being called That's the Way instead. It was referred to as the boy next door, I think, on the Bath Festival bootleg album that came out, I think. If I have to check my notes on that. One thing I don't have to check my notes on is probably the reason that everybody showed up at the concert. This is September 1970. The Led Zeppelin II album came out in late October of '69. Whole Lotta Love hit the charts and went up to number 4 on the Billboard single chart in early 1970 in the spring. And that's what everybody's here for. So I might as well listen to it.
Are we going to finish now?
Yeah.
But it may take a little time. So we want you to, young and old, we want you to get up and get very loose, right? As loose as we are.
Yes. I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit into the middle section. Now, I find it interesting with these early 1970, 71 versions of Whole Lotta Love live. This whole middle section, it sounds like, it's supposed to sound like the middle section on the album, but it just feels like it's a free-for-all. There's no structure to it at all. And I think the band kind of realized that too, where it's just like everybody's all over the place. By the time they roll up to 1973, the European tour, and then definitely into the United States, they started to have a bit more structure to it. So it wasn't just a complete freak out. There was a good solid drum beat underneath it, good solid bass beat, and then Jimmy Page on the theremin could do whatever he wanted. And that got even better in 1975, where it was more structured. It was still chaos, but it was expected chaos. It was structured chaos, which I think wound up being a better way to present that middle section of the song. Now, I guess after all of this, we're wondering, why was it called Live on Blueberry Hill? Is the LA Forum on Blueberry Hill? No, it's just so simple. It's like they decided after 13 songs in 2 hours, they were going to close the concert with a Fats Domino song.
I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill. On Blueberry Hill. When I found stood still on Blueberry Hill. My dreams
And Blueberry Hill, it's like one of those 50s songs that they used in medleys all the time. So in the beginning, they didn't have enough recorded material to play a 2-hour concert just of their own material. So by the time they got to the end, certainly in the first year, it was communication breakdown, or how many more times would go into a 20-minute medley of old 50s standards songs like Blueberry Hill or any of the other ones that were popular, Let That Boy Boogie, etc., etc. this wound up, they had played the medley. They had played a medley during Whole Lotta Love. They had played it during Communication Breakdown, but they still had Blueberry Hill in their back pocket ready to go at the end of this concert. And the funny thing was, is we think of Blueberry Hill as like from the 50s and it's like a million years ago, but Fats Domino hit with that in 1956, even though it was a song that was first recorded in 1940. Let's say the Fats Domino version is the one that everybody knows in 56. That was only like 14 years before Zeppelin are out playing it on stage. That would be like something, if the Zeppelin were out in 2023, they would be playing a song from way back 14 years ago in 2009. It's not really that far back, is it? So it's maybe not a current hit, but it was in the current memory. It was not that old. So we have these great recordings that came out, 5 or 6 sources. They were on bootleg albums all over the place. Last year, film footage, 8mm film footage surfaced on YouTube of this concert, filmed from the back of the stage, clean. It was digitized. It looks so beautiful. You need to go and look in YouTube for this video, for the film. I'll post a link in the section, but it was like, you've got to see this, and it's synced up to the audio, so you get a feel of what the 1970 version of Led Zeppelin is. It was fantastic. Live on Blueberry Hill, one of the standards. If you're a Led Zeppelin collector, you have this in your collection. It should be in everybody's collection. It's just one of those historic recordings. First bootleg ever made. Great concert. 2 hours, basically an entire show released on 2 albums back when their shows were just under 2 hours long, and you could do that. You could kind of get it on 2 albums. By the time they get to 1975, and those shows are pushing 3 hours and like sometimes 3.5 hours, it'd be like what, 4, 5, 6 LPs just to get the whole thing. No, a double album takes care of it right here. So there you go, live on Blueberry Hill, Led Zeppelin, September 4th, 1970. It holds up today. It's a great thing. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time on Gary's Record Collection.